Hey everybody, I'm Ethan and this is Charles. Welcome to the Solutions Architect channel. So today is going to be a bit of a different type of video. I'm actually interviewing a good friend of mine, Charles, who's actually a solution architect. And we're going to be just, talking about a couple of different things that relate to the role. So this is a new kind of video, and hopefully you guys find it interesting. So say hello, Charles.
Hey, my name's Charles. I've been a less technical version of a solution architect for the past 5 months, I believe now. I thought I'd share some of my experience with Ethan.
All right, so I have a couple questions for Charles, so hope you don't mind.
Sure.
So my first question for Charles is, what got you into solution architecture in the first place?
So I wasn't really familiar with what a solution architect was before I had this role, but an HR rep reached out to me from my company, and after discussing the position and talking with my now manager, this role really aligns to where I want to be 10 or 15 years from now.
And where is that?
My goal is to be a C-level executive, and it's a lofty goal, but it's something that I have been planning on how to get there. And I think the best way to do this is be in this role for a few years. I'll get an MBA at some prestigious institution, and after that, I'll move into a director position at a fast-growing company, and that would hopefully lead me to be able to move into the C-level position as it is necessary.
So you're saying having that kind of background as a solution architect with that bridging of the technical requirements to the business needs is going to help you get into that MBA type of role, which will ultimately help you, move into that long-term career trajectory that you're looking to be, starting your own company, being like a C-level executive.
Absolutely. The customer-facing experience I'm getting right now is like no other. I'm talking with people who haven't graduated high school and people who are C-level executives now. And being able to talk and discuss points with each individual person and really get them on board for what our project is very powerful skill set to have. Not many people have it. And I'm not saying by any means that I have it now, but it's a skill set that I'm working on building. And it's just something that you have to work on every single day when you're improving yourself.
Yeah, part of being a solution architect, the technical is just one part of it, but we have to wear so many hats between being, seen as a technical expert in the room, between that and being, having customer relationship skills, being able to build relationships with customers, understanding all the intricacies and complexities, and there's just so many things to the role that, the technical is extremely important, but it's only one part of that whole aspect of that
exactly.
role.
My mom put it very well when she said that in this job that I have now, I will learn more in this first year than I'll learn in 10 years in most other jobs.
That is so true. Your mom sounds like a smart person.
She's a very smart person.
Cool. All right, so my next question for you is, what would you say, in your opinion, is the most important trait for a solution architect?
Oh, absolutely, adaptability. You have no idea where you're going to be or what you're going to be doing half the time. Everything is just thrown onto you. I've had it where I'll show up one week with a client and I have no idea what to expect. And then I'll end up giving a training or I'll end up redoing their entire process. It could be anything.
So my next question is, what would it be that you attribute most of your success to for your career? Like, what is if you had to put your finger on the one thing that you would say is the single or the most important factor that has led to your success so far, what would you say is that?
I think I have to give you two, and it would be hard work and resilience. I don't think of myself as the smartest guy, but I can compete with the smartest people by working hard. Elon Musk put it a very eloquent way when he said that he can work 80 hours a week and get twice as much done in a year as someone who works 40 hours a week. If that person's even smarter than him, then he's still beating them every single week.
Yeah, Elon Musk is a whole other thing. That guy is crazy. His work ethic and the way that he gets things done. I read so many articles about how he works. It's just, I don't think that's for normal people. That's for
it's
super beings like Elon Musk, with the superhumans of the world, I think.
Mm-hmm. He's absolutely one of the smartest people around too. He got a double degree in economics and physics from Pittsburgh, I think it was. A very solid school. I remember looking into that. He's a very smart man. But anyways, hard work and resilience. Another thing I find that a lot of people don't do is they don't ask. When I was in college, I had an opportunity to work 3 different jobs at the same time, and I still took classes. That's an example of me working hard, but the reason I had those opportunities was I was asking. My cousin owns a consultant company, and I asked him if I could work for him as an intern, and he allowed that. I mean, I worked 40 hours a week there over the summer 1 year, but that same year I also asked 2 different professors if I could do research with them, and they both said yes, surprisingly. I didn't expect either of them to, and they were just such good opportunities I couldn't give them up. And having those 3 experiences, I think, is really what got me into this position, because my boss related to the work that I had done, both on the research side and the consultant side. And if I hadn't have had that experience, however exhausting it was, then I might not be where I am today.
You're saying you really hustled and showed initiative there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It took...
And ownership.
I was working, I would be up at 5 a.m. every single morning, be at work by 5:45, and then I would work until 3, and then I'd have class for an hour or 2, depending on the day. And then I would be doing research for the next 6 hours or so. And I ended up not going to bed until 10 every night. And
wow,
it was one of the most exhausting summers I've ever had. But that experience I got and the relationships I made have really taken me to where I am now.
Do you have a role model or somebody that you kind of look up to and hold in high regard?
Absolutely.
Who's that?
My mom. She's absolutely an incredible person. She's given me everything that I have in my life. We went to the same school, obviously not at the same time, but...
That'd be pretty weird.
It would. We got the same degrees, and we actually have followed very similar career paths so far.
That's cool.
It is. She's... I listen to her a lot. Anytime I have a question, she always has an answer, and I'm pretty sure it's always right, so that's also nice.
Well, it's mom, so it's always
yeah, she
right.
knows everything.
Yeah.
It's very scary.
That's pretty cool that your mom is in the same career as you and you follow her kind of footsteps. That's pretty cool.
And she was actually a chief operating officer of a design company in Atlanta, and that just goes to show that what I'm doing is possible, and hopefully I can make that same leap.
That's really cool, man. You don't find very often that it's kind of like hereditary in the role. Like when I meet solution architects all the time, like, you know, they'll say, "Oh, I got into the, you know, industry because of this," or, you know, that's, that, or the other. And you know, very often you will find that people, you know, their parents are in IT and they're in the role. But to find somebody that like Charles, where your mother was an SA, and, you know, obviously she went to do a different direction afterwards, but that was her career path, and you chose the same one. Like, honestly, I've never met anyone like that before. All right, Charles, next question for you. What is your favorite hobby?
I think the thing that I do most frequently is fitness related. It's something that really helps me get my mind off of everything, and it's a way for me to work on goal setting that is much more short term than my career goals. I can see the changes that I make by being consistent with the same thing every single day, and by having that consistency, it goes to show that I think everything in life can really be a good metaphor for how fitness is, because you can see physical changes month to month with being consistent and maintaining a certain level of health. And fitness goals are a great metaphor for just life in general, because you can set goals and maintain consistency. You can actually see those changes and see yourself approaching those goals.
That's really cool, Charles. That's really. I actually agree with that a lot. And, you know, furthermore, I think I also, you know, try my best to work out as frequently as I can. I do admit that I don't always follow up on it. It's very hard to be consistent, but it is something that helps me, not just from, you know, what you were talking about, you know, those short-term goals and you know, having that kind of, seeing that kind of success. But for me, it's also about, you know, the role can be extremely stressful. Like, being a solution architect can be extremely stressful. You've got tight timelines. You're constantly dealing with customers, especially, like, honestly, this morning, when I'm recording this video, this morning I woke up and there was a Sev 1 outage for one of my customers. Like, you're always on, you're 24/7 on call. It's just super stressful. So I find going to the gym is a really big de-stress type of solution for myself. So I think that's another reason why I think that's a really great hobby to have, you know, working out.
You can turn your brain off. Basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of times when you're customer facing, you have to put on a facade that's not really you. I mean, I'm a very introverted person by nature.
Same here.
Exactly. Whenever you're on site, though, you have to be very charismatic and you have to lead the conversation. That's not who I am as a person.
Yeah.
But learning those skills is another thing why I think this role is such a great place to start.
And, you know, on top of just being able to, like, you know, when you're working out, like, being in that zone of, like, just not having to be on and just shut off. Also, in addition to that, you also have those endorphins that just really get released and just put you in a better mood. Yeah.
It's a real thing.
It's a drug, man.
It is.
It's a good drug.
It is.
Yeah.
Don't ever take pre-workout.
All right. So with that said, we're gonna move on to the picks portion of the video. What is your pick for the video?
I'm going to recommend a book. I haven't gotten all the way through it yet. I'm about halfway through. But it's called The Art of Happiness. See if you can make sure you can see all of it. It's a really good book. And I think a lot of people take for granted how important happiness is in life. And you only get one of them. And every single day you can spend watching Netflix and just watching other people live their lives, which I do from time to time. But pursuing your own happiness is something that a lot of people don't do. And I don't want to look back on my life and regret anything. So it's a good book.
Cool, thanks for that. And my pick for the video is going to be similar to another pick that I did. I'm not sure at the time of this recording whether or not it's been released or not, but there's a book that I did in another video. I picked The Goal by Eliel Goldratt. This one I'm going to pick, it's kind of cheating, but it's very much similar to that book. It's called The Phoenix Project. And it's also about, you know, the theory of constraints and everything. But the difference between that book and this one is that this book is all about IT operations and DevOps. And I think it's really cool because it takes lean manufacturing principles and things like that, where you're trying to reduce bottlenecks and, you know, the theory of constraints essentially. It takes all those principles and applies them to a DevOps type of IT organization, and how you have to reduce the bottlenecks within your IT organization, and how do you increase efficiency and all that kind of stuff. And I've gotten so many ideas and inspirations from that book for, you know, my role, for, you know, having input into my company, because as you all would know, if you're in the solution architect role, solution architects typically wear a lot of hats, right? You know, we're customer facing, so we get all the feedback from the customer. We got to come back to our product company, and we got to give them the feedback to the product management teams. And, you know, the customer said they want to use it this way, the product doesn't currently support it. Would it be a good use case? We want to add to the roadmap. There's all sorts of different hats and things you got to wear. My point is that by reading this book, I've gotten so many different ideas and inspirations as to suggestions or even process changes to make within our team or other teams to help improve things within the organization overall. So I highly recommend that book for anybody that is in the IT industry at all, not just solution architects. Whether you're a network engineer, whether you're an IT manager, whatever your role is, a programmer, whatever it may be, I definitely recommend that book. That's definitely a high recommendation.
I'll have to check that one out. I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, you should definitely read. I highly recommend it. I listened to an Audible. I'm actually listening to it again for the second time. It's just such a great book. So, all right, guys. Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and Charles, really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to, you know, have this discussion with me. I think it was pretty interesting.
I agree.
So hopefully you guys thought it was interesting as well. And until next time, guys. Thanks for watching.